No. Oh, no. It's totally crazy. They wiped out on the floor. I know. Yes. Yeah, you can eat as much of the chips as you want. Oh, sorry. I'm having a bit of a party over here. You can say I'm having a bit of a jamboree. There's a lot of fun and... Oh, piss. Who invited that guy? Yeah, I'm recording this video with the Switch 2 camera. Really, I should just make all my videos with this camera moving forward. When Mario Party Jamboree first released, I was head over heels. I had an absolute blast, and I made a glowing review that I may or may not have been forced to make by an insane, life-threatening Mario. I did have one complaint at the time, though, and it was this. The worst part is, though, Nintendo being classic Nintendo, you can only play these modes in single player, which is very frustrating and disappointing. There's no way of actually searching online, and it just fills the remaining slots with CPUs, which means the only way to get a full player 20 lobby, you have to play solo. That's so horrible! Yeah, that's a Nintendo. For some reason, it's par for the course with all of their online experiences. There's always these just frustrating hang-ups with certain things for no reason. And while the online capabilities are always a blemish on any Nintendo game, I was just ecstatic to actually have a Mario Party that was fun again. However, this new DLC goes overboard. It goes the extra mile to be completely unplayable online. There are some good things here, but it's all limited, both online and offline, when you actually try and play it. Let's talk about the Mario Party Jamboree DLC. To start with, once you have this DLC installed, every time you load up the game, it'll automatically load up to the Jamboree TV menu, which makes sense. You can switch between the original base game or game share as well, and we'll talk about all of that. But focusing on Jamboree TV and the new updates in this DLC, what you get is new additions to the main Mario Party mode, Carnival Coaster, Bowser TV Live, and Free Play, which, you know, that's just free. It's just free play. You just play mini games. Carnival Coaster is kind of an on-rails roller coaster shooter where you and your friends kind of just spam the screen shooting it. She's holding my foot. I don't know if she's telling me to quiet down or if she's just here for emotional support because she can tell that I'm getting upset, but she's like, it's okay. It's just a game. It's an on-rails shooter. You shoot winged Koopas in the sky for points with your friends, but it kind of just acts as an interlude in between playing minigames. New mouse minigames as well. So you have 14 new mouse mode minigames. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, if we get as many minigames for the camera and the microphone as we are getting here for the mouse, we're about to add in like 30, 45 new minigames into this thing. For 20 bucks, that really isn't too bad, except no, there are 3 new camera mini games and a whopping also 3 microphones, so 6 between those 2 features. The camera mini games, I think, are the most disappointing, both in the fact that they barely work at the best of times, but also because they are barely actually mini games. I actually did do a little mini party recently where me and my friends Fry Biscuits and Max played all of the new modes featuring the camera and the microphone. And I also tried these camera mini games at the Nintendo America experience, and that was so embarrassing, especially because one of the mini games is quite literally just scream and make as much body movement as possible. Which was still quite embarrassing doing it here in my house with my friends, knowing that my mother-in-law is upstairs taking care of my newborn son, that she can hear all of the yelling and screaming down here that a bunch of 35-year-old adult men are doing like we're some kind of children at a slumber party. It was even worse. My personal fear of that one aside, the others are just punching a coin block to make coins come out for a little bit, which, while you're watching the gameplay of it, looks all well and good, but when you cut to real life, is just an embarrassing Twitter clip waiting to happen. It is so frustrating to be jerking the air like that and not actually getting any action. Same for the squatting mini game, where you're just told to either squat or stand, and sometimes it just doesn't register. It wasn't working for me at all Hill in New York. And this time in my own house, it even messed up for Max too. And then finally, there's a Goomba on your head balancing mini game, which I didn't get to play the other day. But all of this is just giving serious iToy vibes. And I cannot believe how few games there are using the camera. I need to remind you right now that this is the only game on Switch 2 that uses the camera as a game. And I don't just mean putting the camera into the game and seeing your friends' faces in Mario Kart. I mean literally as a game. This is the only thing that does it. And there are 3 mini games, and they're over in a blink of an eye. The microphone games, I think, are a lot better. There is also only 3 of them, but I do appreciate their creativity. One of them has a car that you need to try and get as close to Bowser as possible without actually hitting him, and you do that by saying the word go, 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 go. Hell yeah. There's a similar one like Trombone Champion, where you need to guide the Bowser Mini Junior guy up and down to collect coins. The third one has everybody clapping in time in rhythm with the music, and this was a real hit or miss. Sometimes it would register our claps perfectly, other times it would tell us we were too late or too early when we were clearly on beat. But all 3 of these lead to a really interesting situation where everyone else in the room has to be quiet while it's your turn. Go, 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 go. And typically with Mario Party, especially, well, I guess I was being too loud. And typically with Mario Party, especially when you're playing together in a room, everyone's hooting and hollering. There's a lot of screaming and yelling and excitement. And as soon as everybody has to be quiet, because if you say one thing, you'll mess up the other person's turn. Go, 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 go. Go, go. Why would you do that? It's kind of like an awkward environment. Again, I don't think the microphone games are that bad. I'm just surprised there's only 3 of them. And I gotta be honest, while I actually do like a lot of the new mini games that use the mouse, I struggle to see any of them as a mini game that couldn't be played without a mouse. Like, you can't tell me this one where you need to match pairs by knocking on doors needed to be a mouse game. Or this one where you pull back a little toy car. I mean, you could definitely do that with a thumbstick and the A button. Nothing inherently screams this needed to be with a mouse. In fact, there were maybe 2 games that I thought felt really mouse appropriate. There was one where you had to really carefully stack dominoes and you needed to pick them up and drop them somewhere. And then one where you had to drag a screaming toad around an electronic field. And I think using a mouse for that is way harder. Those 2 really did feel like mouse games. Everything else felt like normal games that they decided to let you use a mouse for. But to be honest, I have no problem with that. New mini games are new mini games, and if these are the mouse ones, those are the mouse ones. But one of my many issues here is that the camera and microphone mini games aren't accessible in the actual main Mario Party mode. The main Mario Party mode only adds in the mouse mini games, and the mini games in Mario Party are random. So if you are lucky to actually get a mouse activated mini game in a game of Mario Party, that is really going to be the only gameplay element that's going to make playing the Mario Party mode feel any different.
Wait, this is a mouse mini game.
Oh my god, the lag though.
I know, it's
The lag
insufferable.
is something fierce. Oh lord.
Oh my god. I honestly, I can't play these mouse games much longer. It's just so laggy.
Ooh.
If you want to play the camera mini games, it's only 3, and you got to go to Bowser Live for that and do the same 3 things over and over. So that brings us to the main Mario Party mode, where there are there's no additional content. What they've added into the main Mario Party mode is that some of those mouse mini games might pop up, and that's if you don't turn off the mouse and motion mini games, if you don't want to play those. I mean, there is this cool feature they added where it records the moment you get a star, and then at the end in the highlights, it'll play that moment on the graph when you get the star. And it's really funny to see my friends' reactions replayed, them laughing and getting so... You don't realize how excited you do get when you get get a star, except for some reason, it didn't play my moment. It played two of my friends' moments. It didn't play my moment when I got a star. What's wrong with my moment? Was I not happy enough, Nintendo?
Where was my replay?
I think the only other like cool thing that we saw is Jess at one point landed on a chance time, and when the scroll things came up, also had all of our faces on the side. That was actually sick. That was so cool. I wish there were more things like that. It kind of takes that separation away from the difference between couch co-op and online and kind of brings it closer. All right, so now that we talked about all of the new content in the game, and obviously if you're playing locally on a couch with a friend or two or even three, you'll have access to all of that. But let's talk about the online. Because the online sucks. If you select with friends, you get two options. You can play with friends in game chat, or you can play with friends just in your friends list. Playing with game chat friends is the only way to activate your cameras. I mean, this goes across the board for all of Nintendo's new games. If you want to play with cameras on, you have to be in game chat. They do this to protect kids, which I completely understand. So yeah, you can't do the camera or the microphone mini games, so you can roll those out right away. Even though you can share cameras with your friends in game chat, you cannot play the camera mini games, and I repeat, you cannot play the microphone mini games. Don't
This
tell me
stage cannot be played online.
the camera mini game can't be played online.
Cannot be played online.
You are joking.
Why? I don't know. The good thing they made it so you couldn't play the camera games because there might have been lag. You wouldn't want to play the mouse mode games with lag. The mouse mode games have lag. They are absolutely insufferably unplayable.
My game is it's very laggy. I'm not even making that up.
I had a 4-person lobby online on Twitch the other night, and we were all complaining about it. There was an air hockey mini game, and none of us could do anything.
There's so much lag. I can't react in time.
Which means the only thing you're really adding into the experience here is cameras. If that's worth 20 bucks for you, go for it. And it does add something to the experience, I will admit. Moving on, you have the worldwide mode, which is your online mode, which is you going online on your own, or you can bring one friend with you. If you go online on your own single player, the only thing you can do here is the Mario Party mode. Yeah, you can't go online and do the camera games or the microphone. You can't do the coaster. You can only do the main Mario Party mode with no cameras on this time, of course. Whatever, we don't care about that, right? We just want to go online and play Mario Party anyway. It doesn't matter that there's no additional content here that I paid $20 for. I'm going to specifically go in through Jamboree TV, even though I know I'm not going to get anything extra that I paid for. So that's fine. I'm fine. That's fine. That's fine. Except I have tried multiple times to find people to play against online, and for whatever reason, I cannot do it. This DLC just came out. It's not gonna get better than this. There's not gonna be more people playing later. We're in a week of its launch. Okay, what if I bring someone with me? I added a second Joy-Con. Well, you can only go online with 2 people, which also means you can't do a free-for-all with 2 people. You can only do tag team games. 2-on-2 Mario Party mode. That is it. Except you thought it was hard to find one person to play Mario Party with. I'm gonna give you a big fat spoiler alert. I couldn't find anybody. The party isn't really partying the way that we would expect. All of the balloons have deflated. We ran out of chips and dip. The party is pretty much over, except we have one Hail Mary. We have one trip to the bottle-o to try and save this party, and that's game share. That's a sick new mode, and I tried it out. I got Kim's Switch next to me. I connected them and I loaded it up, and I accidentally loaded straight into a Wiggler match. And I was like, I don't know, I didn't want to play this map. So I had to back out, I had to disconnect and try again, and I loaded back into a Wiggler match. And I was like, wait, hold on a second, what's happening here? I'm missing the part where I get to pick a map, and it's because you don't. With Game Share, you can only do a 10-turn, can't change any rules, just a 10-turn match on Wiggler map. What is happening? Why are we so restrictive, Nintendo? Why has everything got such heavy restrictions on it? You also have to play only in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons connected too. And also, because the Joy-Cons are connected, there's no motion control on mouse games, so those aren't in the Game Share version of this either. And you bet your ass the camera and the microphone games aren't. What is happening? So to run you through all of this really briefly again, my point is everything is restrictive.
So half the content's locked down. Again, I really don't get why we can't do the roller coaster mode. That seems like a perfect one to do online, especially because all the mini games are just the mouse mode games that you can play in free play. It makes no sense.
95% of the time, if I want to play Mario Party, it's when me and my friends are free and we're going to play online. That's just how I play games these days. I know it sucks. I miss the days of couch co-op. I was there. That's how I grew up playing games. But at this point, it is just easier to play games online, and we're paying to play games online. We're paying a yearly, monthly subscription to play these games online. So why are they so restrictive? So if we're just going to focus on the local side of it, there's a bunch of content, sure. I mean, I feel like, as I said, they could have done more with the camera and the microphone, but 14 mouse mode games are nothing to sneeze at. It's just that when you play Mario Party, the whole mode that this is for, you only get the mouse mode games, and you'll maybe get 1 or 2 if you're lucky, because it's random. So what exactly is the DLC? What exactly did we pay $20 for? I ask you? The more I thought about this, and the more I got locked out of certain experiences, and the more I realized that the content that is there just isn't a lot of content, the more I started to get upset that it cost 20 bucks and that it's not something that was free day one. And maybe I would recommend it at 10 because there are some fun things here, but there are so many misses, mistakes, dumb decisions, and annoying lockouts for me to ever say that 20 is worth it. Ultimately, most of the fun long-term that's gonna come from playing this DLC is when you're in a game chat, playing with your friends and seeing their cameras on the screen. So if that's worth $20 for you, then maybe this DLC is worth it. Okay, bye. Oh, that's right. I forgot you're still there. I guess I'm gonna go this way. I'll take my dog with me. Oh, that started playing Mario Kart at some point. That's the wrong game. I didn't notice that. Come on, doggy. You gotta pee.